Hi guys, I'm Tim and I did a working holiday in Australia. Yeah, I was 1 year in Australia. Usually I'm in Germany because this is my home country, but I traveled to Australia for 1 year, which was a big step for me because I never really traveled too much. Um, So I tell you a little bit about my journey there. It was quite interesting because I did so many experiences, had the chance to get to know so many beautiful, nice people to be with, and it was just amazing. I made so many friends from all over the world, and this is, for me, it's like a astonishing part of my life I can't forget, and I don't want to, and I never will. So I started my I started my working holiday in Sydney with a guide. I did a tour with plenty of people, a guide, and this was just 1 week. The guide showed us a lot of nice places in Sydney. We did some nice things like barbecue on the boat, and we got showed around a little bit in Sydney, and also like some smaller places near Sydney like Port Stephens, which is a nice place as well, with some nice spots where you can have very nice views and which are so amazing. It's like crazy. And yeah, after Sydney I needed to separate from my tour because I decided to be on my own, and it was an adventure, let's say that. For me, I felt like I felt not under pressure, but I felt like ready for adventure, and this was actually what I did. I did some adventures. So the next place I stayed was in Byron Bay, and I love Byron Bay, this laid-back lifestyle, everything, how the people are there. It's so nice. The beach is nice. My hostel was quite near the beach, like maybe 50 meters. It doesn't take long to get there if you walk by foot. I basically had the chance to get to know so many nice people, and it was so amazing. So I stayed in Byron Bay, got to know a new group. First I had some problems with like finding connections, I thought, but quite easily I fell in love with a little group, and we made friends, but sooner or later they had to leave. So after that I joined another group of people, got to know new friends, and then we had another big group which was also we were very close and did a lot. We spent the time together at this most eastern point in Australia, in Byron Bay, and saw the lighthouse and everything you can see. Kayaking was a big thing there with we saw dolphins, which was pretty nice. And after I stayed 1 month in Byron Bay, I decided to move on because I still want to see more places, even if this place is kind of beautiful. So I decided to go to Surfers Paradise next. Stayed there for 1.5 weeks. But I felt not really the vibe there. It's nice to see it, but for me at that point, when I did a lot of party there and explored the area as good as possible, I decided, okay, time to move on. But I also saw a lot of kangaroos there next to Surfers Paradise in a little park, which was quite interesting and so nice. I never saw that many kangaroos in one place. It was so crazy. After Surfers Paradise, I decided to go to Brisbane just overnight to catch the flight to Cairns, which was recommended to me by a friend I've met on Bali, because 2 years Before this working holiday, I was traveling to Bali for 2 weeks and did a tour. And one guy said you should go to Australia, and I think this was maybe the first impact which led me to Australia. And in particular, he said I should see Gold Coast, which is also where Surfers Paradise is, and also Cairns. So Cairns was my next step, my next chapter, which was quite big because I stayed 4 months in Cairns and a lot happened there. I was at a hostel which was pretty close, like everything were like open areas and stuff. So you have the feeling that every day you can see everybody from the hostel. So that's the reason why you can get very close. And it's easy to get to know people, other people which are like-minded, every day quite easily and fast. This is so nice, and I stayed there like almost the 4 months, which is pretty nice. So I worked in Cairns. First I was like helping an older woman, which she lived near Cairns, and she was caring about her son, like beginning of his 50 years old. So yeah, he had like a little, no, not just a little, he had a big brain injury because the time he was a child, he got hit by a car. And now he is like quadriplegic, so he can't really move his arms and legs, can't really speak, but he understands you really well and is still seeing what you say. So I cared about him because that's basically a job I did in Germany as well. But because I had some little fights and disagreements with the woman I worked for, even though she was a really nice person, but there was just a couple of things we disagreed on, and this was about like overtime and payment. I decided to leave this job after 1.5 weeks. So what to do now? I need to search another job. I see, okay, my money is not like as sustainable as I thought it. Like, I couldn't save as much as I think, or let's say I spent more than I was expecting. That's why I need a job quickly after that. But I needed to search a couple of weeks more, and still was like quite, frustrating first. But at the end I found a job at a bakery where I was helping bakers, and it's nice because it's a different job from what I did in Germany, and that was also like a little wish of mine to dive a little bit into some jobs I haven't experienced yet. So I was able to actually experience more and see more of what's there on the job market. So I was working with the bakers. I helped them baking their sausage rolls, spinach rolls, pies, whatever, everything. And yeah, I worked there exactly 2 months, 30 hours a week. But for some reason I spent too much money at the time that at the end I didn't really save that much. But along everything happened, there was also like a lot of gossip in the hostel and always something happening with people. I had my friend group there which was built out of scratch, which is like pretty nice. I'm so proud of the people I've met there. That's so amazing. Some of my friends there stayed also very long there, and I got to meet so many nice people I spent a lot of time with, going to some parties, going to the beaches nearby from Cairns, which are pretty beautiful, and had a fun time together. But one time at one party I got to meet a girl which I really liked, and yeah, I don't know, we dated basically 2 months during that 4 months time in Cairns, which is like far north Queensland, which is like north east in Australia. So I dated this woman and it was nice time, but also we had a lot of fights because we disagreed on some things. Basically, we were not on the same page. And I saw I was investing too much. I was like, she was toxic for me and I was agreeing too much. I didn't stop early enough because at the end I felt very damaged and I felt very, very bad. But because of that, I learned a lot out of it, because for me, I had always like, I was never really successful with dating before, but this experience teach me a lot of what I want to agree in a relationship with friends or partners, and what I don't agree with, where my limits are, and when to leave a relationship and when to stay. So this was an important learning for me. So yeah, this was quite precious for the rest of my life. I'm still thinking about it, and it's like, okay, I'm basically over it, but I'm thinking about the learning I did, and it teach me so much, and I see how I benefit from this learning today already. It's pretty nice. So after these 4 months in Cairns and 2 months work bakery time, which was during these 4 months, I continued to stay somewhere else, and this is just completely South Australia. It's in Melbourne. I stayed there for 1.5 months. Basically, I need a job very, very quickly because I see my money is almost zero. My bank account is literally dead. So I decided to search a job more strategically, harder, and I was searching every day, doing everything I could for 1.5 months, but I didn't find a job there. But I met a couple of nice friends as well there. I'm so proud of the people I've met, and I'm so happy. Hope they're doing well, by the way. Yeah. So after cancer, I was in Melbourne, searched for jobs 1.5 months, but I was failing, which was pretty frustrating because everywhere I was looking, every people around me were all finding a job, but not me. So that was too bad for me, but it said to me, I shouldn't work here, so I needed to leave. Okay, what I actually did was for a couple of weeks trying to get enough money with Uber Eats. So I worked for Uber, but it turned out I didn't I wasn't able to save enough money to live from it, and so I needed to quit that Uber Eats job as well. And I was basically on zero, needed to borrow a little bit of money from my savings account, which I still have from Germany, but this was basically all I had. And with that money I could survive like some weeks, the last weeks in Melbourne, and use the rest to fly to another place. So basically I traveled to Bundaberg next, which is like, it's not much there. It's not much there, but it's surrounded by farms, and there were some working hostels, which are not really nice, but they are okay to get a job because working hostels help you to find a job, what they did. So I got a job there on an avocado farm. I worked on this avocado farm for 3 months, which helped me a lot to get a little bit money. I didn't receive that much money from the avocado farm, but I was able to enjoy life. I started to enjoy life a little bit more because I was more financially stable, and this helped me a lot. With that being said, I had also some dramas there a little bit, but I also made some new friends which helped me a lot. And yeah, I saw during this time especially who I really am. I saw like yeah, I like this, to be free, to be a little bit wild, to be like a little rebel. When I, like I said before, with the woman I dated in Cairns, it's basically the same, that I just learned when to agree a situation and when to move on, what to accept and what not, that I can be able to understand myself and stand up for myself, say my opinion. And because in the past I was never able to do this, and for the first time now I know who I really am. Now I know I'm able to do this, to be strong if I need to show what I really want, to fulfill my own desires as well, and not always fulfilling other desires. And that was pretty solid and nice that this happened. So during this Bundaberg time on the avocado farm, I made some money, not much, but it was basically almost the rest of the year. And yeah, at the end I was able to do a little highlight at the final week with my working holiday. And on the final week I booked 2 more tours, and this was basically Fraser Island, also called Kagari, which is near Rainbow Beach. And this is like the biggest sand island ever, with the famous 75-mile beach, and you can drive there on the beach with a car. You don't have service on your phone. You sleep on a base camp in tents, and you see the champagne pools. You see Lake Mackenzie, which was pretty beautiful and surrounded by a rainforest. So this was like 2 nights, 3 days tour, and you've met nice people there. You met like so nice, cool places. It was amazing. And right after that, I traveled up to the Airlie Beach, which is like at Whitsundays. That was the goal, to see the Whitsundays, which is like a large group of plenty little islands. So I was on a sailing boat, slept there 2 nights, and was there for 3 days with a group of people. And was a very nice vibe. The sunsets there, the stars, the fish you can see. It's so amazing, and it's just inspiring. It was I love the vibe. It was laid back, relaxed, and you also see a lot. You see the islands, have a nice view. You were able to see the Whitehaven Beach, where I swam as well. The Whitehaven Beach, so beautiful beach. It's just, I'm speechless. I can't really describe it because it's just so beautiful, and it's always more beautiful than you can show on images. But this is just beautiful. We also snorkeled there on the Great Barrier Reef, because the Whitsundays is basically the heart of the Great Barrier Reef, more like the southern part of the Great Barrier Reef. And that's why we were sailing there, because like a famous area where you can sail, and this like very, very large, so you don't see anyone else. You basically feel like you're sailing alone, you see nobody else, and because you can barely see other boats and stuff. And yeah, sometimes you were able to snorkel there. You can see this beach, Whitehaven Beach, or you spend nice time on the boat and visit some other few nice places where this tour showed us around, and which was pretty nice. And I've met so great people there, and like in every place I've met new friends, which I also needed to say goodbye to every time. And this was maybe the worst thing of all, or the most difficult thing for me, because I don't like goodbyes. But for me, I needed to learn to focus and say, okay, I don't have fear to lose someone. No, I focus on, I'm happy that I had the time with these people and was amazing and was fun and great and all of love for them. But now we're going separate ways for now. It doesn't mean that we see each other never again. We might be able to see each other again, you never know. But hope they're doing well. But we needed to separate now. It was a fun time. I appreciate that, and I'm happy that we spent that time together. But now we move on, and maybe someday we might see each other again. So yeah, so this was Whitsundays, which was pretty nice. We slept two nights on the sailing boat, and was an experience because I was never really sailing. I was the longest time I stayed on a boat for was 3 hours, and now I needed to stay for 3 days on a boat. So I was a little bit afraid, because me and the sea are like, I like the sea, but I have high respect for the sea, and I thought, okay, I hope I don't get seasick. And the good thing is, I didn't get seasick, so everything is fine. Ausblick. Wie cool.
I was listening to the ocean. I saw a face in the sand, but when I picked it up, then it vanished away from my hands. Dawn. I had a dream I was 7, climbing my way in a tree. I saw a piece of heaven waiting impatient for me. Dawn. And I was running far away, would I run off the world someday? Nobody knows, nobody knows. And I was dancing in the rain, I felt alive and I can't complain. But no, take me home where I belong. I can't take it anymore. I was painting a picture. The picture was a painting of you, and for a moment I thought you were here, but then again it wasn't true. Dawn. And all this time I have been lying, lying in secret to myself. I've been putting sorrow on the farthest place on my shelf. And I was running far away, would I run off the world someday? Nobody knows, nobody knows. And I was dancing in the rain, I felt alive and I can't complain. But no, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home where I belong. I got no other place to go. No, take me home where I belong. I can't take it anymore. But I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I kept running for a soft place to fall. And I was running far away, would I run off the world someday? But no, take me home where I belong.
And after that, my working holiday ended at the final day of the visa. I flew back to Germany. And after I flew back to Germany, everything is very strange because you saw a lot, you experienced so many things in Australia in this working holiday year. You learned so much, and now you come back into your old life and need to show that you actually change. And it felt also strange because, you know, okay, you have changed, but it seems like almost nothing where I am now has changed here. So I needed to remind myself who I am now, what I've learned, and use it here in my now and my daily life and my future goals to reach them, and maybe to travel more and see more of the world and transform my life into a new state where I want to be. And I think I'm on a good way, and I think I could like go very, very deep into every detail of this Australia working holiday, a travel journey, adventure. But I think I summarized it pretty good for you guys. But if you have any questions, just ask me. I think I just want to do some more. I just want to record some more videos for you. Let me know what you think about it. This is my first real English video on YouTube, because before I was like more like doing German YouTube videos, but I decided to change that a little bit, go into English. Let me know what you think, and I hope you have a nice time. My name is Tim, nice to meet you, and yeah, much of love and goodbye.